Hey guys, Josh Mabe, M&H Training here, and we are back with part 2 of the cheapest AR that you can actually buy. If you saw the first video, this is the Anderson Manufacturing. Got this fully built AR ready to go out of the box for $349.99. I topped it with the cheapest red dot I could find when I picked it up, which is a $50 UTG. If you watched the first video, I don't like the UTG. We already established that. It sits too low. You're going to have to put a riser on it. I would have thought this particular red dot would have been a little bit higher than that, but it is what it is. It was $50. Not that big a deal. But the gun had some issues out of the box, which hurt its first impressions. It fired the first 2 shots perfectly fine, but every shot after that, it would not feed from the magazine. It would eject the spent casing, but it would not load a new round. So it could be a multitude of things that cause that. Most likely it's the gas system, but it could be the magazine, it could be the gas tube, it could be the gas block, it could be something loose, could be something bent, could be something blocked, could be the gas key on top of the bolt carrier group, it could be the buffer tube, it might be a little bit too heavy of a tube, could be that the gun just needs to be broken in more, it could need breaking down and cleaning and lubricating, because I didn't do any of that. I literally took it out of the box to shoot it, because that's the way I like to do all of my first impressions, is right out of the box. So the first thing we're going to do is I want to pay really close attention. I'm going to drop the bolt, I'm going to pull it back, see if it feels gritty, if it feels like it's catching on something. It could be a milling issue inside the upper receiver. So I'm going to check that out first. So no magazine, the bolt is back right now. You can visually see that there is nothing in the chamber, so we are unloaded. So what we're going to do first, we're going to drop the bolt. Let's pull it back. I don't feel anything catching. Everything seems pretty smooth. Let's break it down. We're going to pop the bolt carrier group out. Alright, we're going to visually inspect the upper. Take a look in there. I'm looking in here. I'm looking for any burr, anything like that that could be off. Gas tube seems to be in alignment. I don't see anything rubbing that would cause issue. The gas key seems to be perfectly fine. I don't see anything causing issues there. Everything's functioning. Pins are in place. No burrs on the outside. Everything seems to be functioning. So what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to take a rag and we're just going to wipe this down, make sure everything's good, clean. I'm going to drop a couple drops for lubrication anywhere it slides. All right. Put that back in. So that's the first thing we're going to try. We're just going to see if it needs lubricating and cleaning. So I'm going to throw these on real quick. I'm not doing for accuracy, anything like that. All right, we're just going to see if it cycles. See, got 2 shots. It ejected, did not load a new one. Try it again. It didn't fully eject that one. Oh, wait. Didn't strike the primer on that one. Same issues. On safe. All right. Visually inspecting. We're empty. So the next thing we are going to do we're going to rule out magazine, anything like that. If it's the buffer or gas system, the bolt shouldn't stay back. Bolt didn't stay back. So we've narrowed it down. It's the gas system or it's the buffer. The easiest thing that we can try first is just see if they put too heavy of a spring in here. Solve the problem. This has got either the spring is too heavy or the buffer is too heavy. So, problem solved. Let's see. Got a few more rounds in here. Let's just try it one more time. Safe direction. All right. That's why you always start with the most simple things first. If I hadn't have done that, I would have had to take the handguard off. I would have to check your gas block. If you can see the gas block right here. I would have had to check the gas block to see if it was twisted at all. If you're new to ARs and don't know how this works, under this piece, under the handguard, it's where your gas tube, that silver tube you see in there, that's where it goes. There's a little port in the barrel that covers it up, causes all the gas from the shot to come up the tube, comes back here, blows your bolt back, and that's how your AR functions. So if that tube gets blocked, bent, crushed, damaged, if this gas block, the bolts come loose, it twists a little bit, if when it was installed a little crooked and offset on the hole, you wouldn't get enough gas to actually function. But once again, that would have been a little more of a job taking all of that off to test, when all I had to do was pull out the buffer spring and buffer and drop one that I knew for a fact was your standard size, and it works perfectly fine now. So that was a simple fix. I'm going to, I don't even know if it's point in emailing Anderson. Ruger just bought Anderson and shut them down. So I'm probably just out of luck on that. But luckily I got a bunch of buffer springs, buffer tubes. They just put the wrong one in there, or there's something a little off with this one is what caused it. So not a huge deal. That's not a deal breaker for me. We know the gun functions now. I got another magazine we're going to throw in there just to triple check. But yeah, I think it's that buffer and spring is what's causing everything. Let's see, I know I brought another magazine. Yeah, let's run through this one just to check. This is the one my buddy Joe at Walkertown Pawn and Gun sent me. Pretty cool mags. Great little place. That's where I get all my firearm transfers done. Alright. And if you didn't watch the other video and don't understand why I don't like the sight, as I said, it would work if you put a riser on here, but it just sits so low. This is where, if you can see me, this is where I need to be comfortable, right here. But my eye is in alignment with the cap, so I have to roll my head down to be able to see the dot, which is an issue. So let's see if we can hit the coyote at 100 yards. Oh! Didn't like that. Let's try it again. See? Well, this is why I want to triple check things, because as you see, it went from working fine to nothing. Now I'm a little bit baffled, because we're pretty much back to the drawing board. A little rough there. I'm gonna be right back. We're gonna pause the video for just a second. We are back now. What I want to do is try the new, or a new. This is the carrier group out of one of my other ARs. We know everything functions. We know everything is proper. we're going to put this in and see how she functions. That's going to rule out before I work with the gas tube, because I don't want to take the whole fore end and everything off if I don't have to. I want to see if this fixes anything. Alright, a few minutes ago we did that and it worked fine. Gave it a second, tried it again, didn't work right. So nope. Throw me that round. Under your arm. Let's try a different magazine. We're going to try it rapid fire, see if the bolt stays back. Ha! It didn't eject the empty that time.
It's time for the gas system.
Hold on. Nope, didn't lock open. I'm going to get this fore end taken off real quick. I got to find some wrenches and stuff, so we'll be right back. Okay, we're back again. Sorry, I had to step away. I was getting frustrated with the rifle. But I popped these loose. Let's take these off. You can see what I'm doing. I'm taking the hand guard off, loosening these two bolts right here. And we're going to check out the gas system. Alright, so when you take your hand guard off, you've got your barrel, you've got your gas block, you've got your gas tube. As I said, it's got a little port in here, runs up, down the tube, back. You can just see a little bit better now. So what we're going to check for is to see if there's anything wrong with the gas tube. I don't see any bends. I don't see any punctures. And then we're going... Ooh, well, I found the issue. I would say that's quite the issue. Just out the box, whole gas block just pops off. Well, it's convenient. Y'all can see the little hole right there. So what this does is it goes over the center of the barrel. I hate lining this thing up. That thing is just literally just... I know things can happen. I completely understand things can happen. That should not happen. That is a quality control issue. They didn't even attempt to tighten that. That is not the least bit tight at all. That's ridiculous. There's the problem though. That's the whole issue. So now what we have to do is try to get this lined up perfectly centered. Right there. Then got to get this tight. Alright guys, thanks to our cameraman. Had a full set of Allen wrenches. So we're good here. Let's make sure we get this thing centered, as I said.
Is there a way to tell if it's centered, or is it a guessing game?
Kind of a guessing game, honestly. Okay, centered back there. Centered right there.
Guess this is where it helps to have a background in gunsmithing.
It does. Yeah, it's not, this is nothing too strenuous. And I mean, for the vast majority of people, when you buy something new, I mean, when you get a new AR, taking everything apart, checking everything is always your best practice with any firearm for safety reasons and everything else. In my opinion, this issue is slightly above your average run-of-the-mill person that might buy an AR, go out, shoot it 4 or 5 times, put it in the closet, go out every 6 months, shoot it again. Don't know a lot about guns. This is a little bit more tedious than just your standard breakdown and cleaning. And once again, everybody, I know there's going to be people in the comments that say, well, you've just got to adjust your gas block. Everything's going to work fine with the gas block adjusted. It's not that big a deal. I still fall back to my same reasoning. If I buy a fully built complete rifle, a fully built handgun, anything straight from a box, the bare minimum should be at function and fire. The only altering I should have to do is if I add anything to it, or general maintenance, not out of the box having to fix a gas block system that they did not even tighten. These screws are literally just loose. They did not tighten anything on this gas block. It's not staked correctly. It should have been tightened, centered, and staked from the factory. It is none of that. So we are flush. I've got it tight enough to hold. Now we're going to lock this down. Whoops, wrong one. Where'd he go?
Under the stock.
Hey, see, that's why I need an assistant out here on the range. I'm a little pissed off at this rifle, quite frankly, so I'm a little flustered. But I'm going to snug this down. We are going to put everything back together. We are going to function test, see if this works better. And once, because I may have to adjust this, if it's slightly off in there, it looks centered to me. If it's slightly off, I might have to come back, loosen these, adjust it just a little bit more until I get it fine-tuned. If it does function, everything works right, it's not going to be on camera. I'm going to do it later because it's starting to get dark and I'm getting ready to throw some steaks on the grill. I'm going to actually stake these so they don't back out under a lot of heat or anything like that. This gun was never fired enough for the heat to cause the metal to expand or anything to cause those to back out. So it's not just because it was not staked. It's because they did not tighten that down. Once again, it pisses me off. I like quality control when it comes to firearms.
What is staking?
Staking, let's see if they staked anything on this gun. No. For example, staking is going to be, it's going to be really hard to see on camera, but if you have anything like this, you can stake these by taking a tap and tapping the metal, and it causes it to be tighter. It's kind of like on here. If you look right here on your castle nut, you can stake these so that it won't back out, basically. So what you would do, if you see that little notch right there, you would take a punch and put on this edge and hit it with a gun and a vise, and it would cause that to deform the metal into that little groove. That's called staking. That way it can't back out on its own if it heats up, shrinks, or just becomes loose. Most AR, I can go in there and show you my other ARs from PSA. My PSA ARs, you can look on here, they're all staked. So you would have to take a punch. You'd have to punch that a few times so you could freely move the Allen wrench. And they didn't do any of that. So, let's get this back on.
You need that on for a function check?
I want it on for a function check, so I've got the up here. It works like a barrel shroud on a shotgun. It just keeps your hand away from touching the actual barrel when it gets hot.
Just hold the barrel.
No, let's not hold the barrel. This video's turned into a bit of a comedy session here, because why not laugh at something like this? Now, that being said, AR itself, I've got no issues with the actual lower. I've used Anderson lowers for years. I've got multiple Anderson lowers in there hanging on my shelf that I want to build off of. Never had an issue with that. The upper seems to be perfectly fine. The hand guard seems to be perfectly fine. It's just the quality control. I could have understood it more if this hand guard wasn't fully tightened. If something was on the stock, if this castle nut was slightly loose, I could halfway understand something, because that's an easy to spot, easy fix. But something like the gas block being just not even tightened at all is, to me, a major issue. Let's see, do I have any rounds out here? We're going to try this test with multiple magazines, because it seemed it was rattling about when I changed magazines, and I want to do a full function test. So I'm putting 3 rounds in each mag. We are back together. Everything's tight. Let's give this a whirl. Bolt stayed back. Bolt stayed back. Bolt did not stay back. Did it eject the round? It did eject the round. That was the Troy magazine. I think a bullet rolled off. Yep. Bolt did not stay back. I think I got to do a little bit more adjusting on the gas block. Probably didn't get it quite centered. So, but that was the issue. It's obviously functioning now. Just by doing that, we can see that the thing was falling off. I do want to see real quick before we go. I'm gonna pop this back off. I just want to see if it's because it loosened back up. See, and I mean, they went as far, if you can see these bolts right here, they went as far as putting Loctite on those, but they couldn't tighten the gas block. But I guess I can talk about Anderson now, since Ruger owned them, bought them, and shut them down. This is hot. It's gonna be hot. Where's my rag? Are you loose? If you're not loose, you just need some adjustment then. Yep, they don't appear to have backed off any. All right, so that's going to be it for this video. There is going to be a part 3, don't worry. I'm going to adjust this gas block a little more. I'm going to make sure it's dead centered. I'm actually going to go ahead, when I get to the house, I'm going to pull your flash hider off. I'm going to take the gas block all the way off the barrel. I'm going to thoroughly inspect this gas tube to make sure when it was loose and rotating around the barrel that it didn't get bent or crushed. So make sure it can get good airflow through there. And then I'm going to make sure I precisely line this gas block up, and we're going to come back with a part 3 video where we make sure the function is 100%. Part 3 is going to be the final video on this world's cheapest AR. As long as we can get it functioning properly, part 3 is also going to have a torture test on it. So that'll be fun, because I kind of want to beat this rifle around a little bit. I truly do after all this. But if I can get it functioning correctly, there's going to be a torture test. If I still can't get it functioning correctly, and I'm going to have to get maybe a new gas block, a new gas tube, I'm not even going to bother with that, because I just won't recommend this gun at all. Kind of the way I finished the first video. First impressions, I'm not impressed in the least. But anyway, that's the video. We'll see y'all in part 3 after I do some fine tuning on this gas block, a gas tube, and see if we can get it functioning. Appreciate y'all watching. Hope y'all don't mind me getting frustrated and pissed off and slightly angry. But woosah. See y'all on the range.